At one point or the other, some of us may experience trauma of one form or another, and it will have a devastating impact on our marriages, or it could have minimum impact. And it depends on what you do as an individual, what you do as a couple to definitely combat this issue. So today we are going to be looking at marriage restored, overcoming trauma. Stay tuned in, listen to personal insights and what you need to do if you find that you or your spouse have experienced trauma and it is impacting your relationship negatively. So stay tuned for Overcoming Trauma in Marriage Restored.
Welcome back to Marriage Restored,
Yeah.
Overcoming Trauma. We are Vito and Linda Patrick, and we would like to welcome you to Unique Couples Sunday Night Live, to our Unique Couples community, and to those of you that are tuning in for the first time. Go ahead and share, go ahead and like, let family members and friends know that we are on, we are live. If you haven't subscribed to the Unique Couples YouTube channel, you want to go ahead and subscribe, and you want to make sure you turn on that notification bell and select all so you can know every time we go live here at Unique Couples.
Oh, and you mustn't forget, go ahead if you haven't gotten your copy of Seven Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage by Vito, Angelo, Patrick, and then the right Patrick. Go ahead and grab your copy wherever books are sold. Go on Amazon.com, try us at uniquecouples.com, and go in your local bookstores and get your copy. If you're in Grand Bahama, stop by Variety Vault and tell them Vito and Linda sent you so you can get your copy.
So today we are talking about marriage restored, overcoming trauma.
And in this series, we're looking at, we looked before at some of the things that impact marriages in a negative way. And so today we want to zoom into this issue, which has to do with overcoming trauma. Because in relationships, we come in as individuals and we join in with our spouse, but then our baggage, whatever emotional baggage or hurt that we might have experienced in the past, also comes into the relationship.
Yes, and mind.org defines trauma is when we experience very stressful, frightening, or distressing events that are difficult to cope with or out of our control. It could be one incident or an ongoing event that happens over a long period of time. Most of us will experience an event in our lives that could be considered traumatic.
Yes, and I surely know about and have my own experiences of trauma. So it wasn't just being or watching the violence around me as couples fought and argued and like got into physical fights and abused, like hurt each other, like intentionally hurt each other. And I saw that. I grew up around that. But when um, I experienced that in my own home as a child, and I think it kind of shaped um, my experience. It kind of like it just shaped and had me where I just had this belief that, hey, if someone who's supposed to love you is treating you this way, then love isn't real, or love is definitely not something to pursue. Where I decided at a very young age that I did not want to get married. I didn't want to be involved with anyone to that capacity where they would have the power to harm or control me in such a way. And so experiencing that, of course, started to change my mindset and beliefs and what I held or valued. And if I didn't get intervention um, later on, it could have possibly triggered so much other things. And so
Mhm.
seeing that and experiencing that, and then of course being abused myself, and just being in that situation, um, I took all of that trauma and I brought it, well, some of it, into a marriage. And so when I'm dealing with couples and I'm counseling ladies, and we're dealing with couples, and we have to caution people, and even in our book we mention it, that hey, you have to know you have to
Yeah.
start with you, and dealing with those issues. And when we see couples come in, they're in their relationship, they're in marriages 10-15 years in, and no one has dealt with their issues, no one has dealt with their trauma, they haven't talked about it, they haven't dealt with it, no one has seen a counselor or a therapist, and they're in this relationship and they're wondering why they're so at odds with each other, and these things are happening. And it's because they never dealt with themselves as an individual. And then, of course, coming together in counseling and dealing with it. So, because I went through that situation and knowing the impact and having gone through counseling and getting the therapy that was needed, I know that there is value in making sure that you start off whole as an individual before or even while you're in your marriage, if you're already married. And so today we just want to kind of like touch briefly and talk about how can you deal with trauma in your
Right.
marriage. So if it's you or your spouse and they've experienced some traumatic event or experience, whether it's they've seen someone being hurt or they've been hurt, what are some things that they can do? What are some things that you can do to make sure that in the end, you and your spouse, you and your loved one, that you're still together, that you're still dealing with, and being that unique couple that decides to hang in there and deal
Mhm.
with the problems together, because your relationship is the most important issue. So we just have about 7 or so points that we want to leave you with, and go ahead and share. It's all about helping others. You never know who you will help. So just go ahead and share, because we're on a mission to make sure that we have healthy marriages all around us, and of course here in the Bahamas and all around the world. So for those of you who are just joining us, thank you. Hi, minister, therapist, Stephanie Boris, thanks for joining us today. Yes, we have to admit it, we have to confront the trauma, and I think that is definitely one of the first points that we have with our 7 points. And the first thing you have to do is recognize the trauma that took place. Yeah.
Yes, both spouses need to be aware of it. There should be that open, honest communication
Mm-hmm.
so both spouses can know about it. And if your spouse isn't supporting you, then who is going to support you?
Yeah.
So you have to have that communication. You have to have that conversation. You have to be honest and open about it so both of you can work together on it and support one another.
Yeah, so this isn't the time to be hiding and not sharing. Okay, so develop that friendship, that connection with your
Mhm.
spouse, so that you are able and feel free to be able to share the things that happen that are even affecting you now or have affected you.
Yes.
So, point
The,
number 2.
listen to your spouse. Speak about the experience. Allow them to vent. So that there is
Mm-hmm.
important as well. You don't want to keep it in. You want to vent and you want to talk to your spouse about it. And as a spouse, you want to ensure that you listen as well. And you want to listen before you speak. Do more listening than talking.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. So number three, you want to support your spouse in seeking therapy or counseling. Sometimes it may require, and most of the times it may require, some financial contribution. It may commitment. And
Mhm.
so don't say, oh, this is more important, because your spouse's emotional health is important as well. Their mental state, all of that is important. Don't think because you can't see it, like you can't physically see the
Mhm.
hurt on them, because scars are internal. They're not
Yes.
things that you definitely see on the outside. So if they're hurt, it's affecting them. It's affecting their belief system. It's affecting their values. It's affecting how they're relating to either you or to family members and children. So all of that will be impacted. And so dealing with and supporting, dealing with that and making sure that your spouse gets the help and that you're the supportive person in that. And of course, if you're the one dealing with it, yes, you want your spouse to do the same thing. So support your spouse in seeking the therapy. And so it's financial contribution. If it's, hey, I'm going
Mhm.
to drive you there, or even trying to find the correct person, the proper person, just doing the research, be there and be the supportive help. And depending on the assistance your spouse need, whether it's a whole lot more or just a calm spirit in the background, just being there for them for when they want you to take a more active role, and that will definitely make a difference. Okay.
Yes.
So point number four. Yeah.
Yes. Point number four. You want to attend sessions with your spouse to work on the impact the trauma may have on your relationship. So this here is
Yeah.
also important as well, because in the previous one you were supporting your spouse and seeking that therapy or counseling. Now you also want to attend the sessions with your spouse to help them as they work on the impact that trauma may have on your relationship. So here again, you want to support your spouse. You want to be there with your spouse, and attending those sessions is very crucial as well, because you are supporting them. You are there with them. If they need to talk on that drive to and from, you are there for your spouse. So that there is also important as well.
Yes, and don't think of it as, oh well, I'm just going. Like actively be involved and engage with the sessions, with the counselor or therapist or whatever activities and strategies that they're asking you to assist with, to help with, and to actually do together. And I guess this will be more of the couples counseling part. Of making sure, because we get families involved as well, that you're actively engaged and not just saying, oh, this is just for her, I'm just here. No, or this is just for him and I'm just, here. No, be intentional about your helping, because this is showing that you indeed are showing that you love your spouse and are willing to work through your problems together.
Yes. Number five, join a support group for individuals facing traumatic experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be a part of that community. You want to be a part of that support system where persons would have gone through something similar, and you and everyone in that group, they can now relate to it, and you will be able to learn from the other person as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that there is also important as you go through this.
Yeah, so support groups are all over. You have some that'll be structured that your therapist or counselor would recommend, and then you have some support groups that they're just there. So you go online and find those groups on Facebook or whatever. You can go and find those group where persons would have had similar experiences, and you realize that guess what, you're not alone. And we want to tell you that you are not alone. So no matter what it is you're facing, unfortunately, someone else has faced that as well. And so when you realize that, hey, they overcame that, they got through that, and they're still
Mhm.
alive, they're still healthy, they're having a thriving relationship. And then you realize that, hey, guess what? If they could do it and they could get healed and they could overcome, I can overcome too. And that's the power of being in a supportive community. And so this leads to, I think, our next point, which is also like, I guess, within this point as well. So we'll call this number 5 as well, is the fact that you need to be a part of a marriage community or a marriage club that promotes healthy marriages. So not only do you find a club that's related to your specific trauma or what you're dealing with, but as a couple, you want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with other couples who believe the same things that you do. Other couples who believe that, yes, we're going to stick through it. And if problems come, we're going to find ways to overcome it. We're not going to just think that we'll go and head to that D word. No, we're going to find ways to make our relationship work. And so you want to find that community. You want to be in the spaces that do that. And the wonderful thing about it is we do have a community that you can join. So hit us up, let us know you want to join our marriage club, and we will let you know when the doors open to the club so that you could be a part of that as well.
So go ahead in the chat and type in hashtag marriage club.
Yes.
So you can be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club.
Yes.
And
get all of those experiences. I have to say again, go ahead. If you haven't gotten our book, go ahead and grab your copy on Amazon.com. Go ahead in person at Variety Vault on Grand Bahama, Bellevue Gifts, and wherever books are sold. Go and check us out on uniquecouples.com. If you want to get in touch with us, you can go ahead there and get in touch with us and see how we can help support you on your journey to making sure that your marriage is healthier, stronger, and definitely happier. And so point number
6.
7.
I think
number 7. We did 5 and we did
5 and 6 together. Well,
okay.
Yeah. So point number 7, I think you kind of already started. You want to read self-help books.
Yeah. So this is number 6. Okay.
And you want to go ahead and get your copy of 7 Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage. This is a self-help book that will help to strengthen your marriage. So it's important that you get a copy of 7 Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage. And there are other self-help books as well that will also help you in your marriage. So you want to continue educating yourself. You want to continue reading. Yes. That's important.
And that's going to help with overcoming those traumatic experiences. And one of the things I love about the book is the fact that we've had over 27 couples contribute and share their experiences of ideas that work and do's and don'ts in marriage. And so that is like a bonus 2 chapters in there to not only have those 7 pillars to strengthen your marriage, but also look at and learn from the experiences of couples from different parts of the world and how they navigated through their marriage and their experiences. And I believe that is definitely key. That's getting community in there as well. So go ahead, grab your copy, and let's overcome whatever trauma or drama that may be in our relationships. Let's make that happen. And of course, point number 7, we cannot go without saying this. It is pray and pray some more. Yes. You definitely want to include and add prayer in this experience.
Yes, that's important. The power of prayer. You want to pray together as a couple. I pray for Linda. Linda pray for me. We pray together. That there is important. More prayer, more power. So go ahead and ensure that you pray and pray some more.
Yes. And that's sometimes, important. Like sometimes when we say, okay, pray, and then people are like, well, pray how? What? And it could just be simply acknowledge who God is, just acknowledge him and thank him for all that he has done and who he is as a person. And then, ask him to take away everything from you that is unlike him, all of the sins and all that, cleanse you, because you're getting in connection with him, with the Holy Spirit now. And then you can go ahead and make your request like you're talking to a friend. Make your request known. And then when you say these prayers, sometimes we have to be specific about it, what it is that we want God to heal and fix. And since we're talking about trauma, talk about, Lord, I want you to fix this. Yeah. The experience, like the memories, do something with that. And guess what? He can. And I know, and I've proven that he can definitely do that. Just the memories, that's the hurt feelings of just remembering, whether it's the sense and the location and all of these things, he can fix that as well. And just sending you in the right path, or just even just taking away some of the triggers that would get you back in the state where you're trapped in the past when you're living now in the future. He can help fix that as well. There is nothing hard for him to do. So, yes, you're going to go and get the therapy. Yes, you're going to get the counsel. Yes, you'll be in a support group. But guess what? That prayer and those specific things that you're going to ask God's guidance on and ask Him to help you deal with, that is indeed going to be powerful.
Yes.
There's nothing too hard for Him to do. And guess what? He loves you and He wants your relationship to succeed. He wants your marriage to be healthy. So what's better than that? He says, ask, right? So go ahead and ask Him. And ladies, join me every first of the month. For our wives prayer session. We'll go ahead. So if you want the link to join us for prayer, go ahead and type wives prayer and you'll be a part of that. We're so excited about all of the things that God is doing in our life. And we know He has some amazing things to do in your life as well. So keep trusting, believing Him, and definitely pray, because you will definitely overcome whatever trauma you are facing now or in the future.
Yes. So go ahead, let us know which one of the points was your favorite takeaway. And if there was something that we didn't mention, go ahead and type it in the chat and let us know. Today we had fun sharing with you here on Unique Couples Sunday Night Live, Marriage Restored, Overcoming Trauma. Here at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families.
Yes, we are indeed. And we're so happy that we have sponsors who are helping to make all of this happen. So we just want to say shout out to Trooper Solutions. We're going to shout out Express Food Mart and all those and Advanced Surgical Care for making this and more things happen with Unique Couples. And you'll hear more about our sponsors. So tune in, go ahead and share. We love you all. Bye.
Yeah, have an awesome week. Love you all. Bye.